16% more homes hit the Charlotte market this year. Prices didn't drop a dime. If that doesn't make sense to you, good. By the end of this video, it'll make complete sense. And you'll understand this market better than 80% of the agents working in it. I'm Evie DeJesus with eXp Realty. I sell across North and South Carolina, and every month I sit and break these numbers down. Today, we're covering 5 things about this market. 1, where prices actually landed. 2, why inventory exploded. 3, what's happening with mortgage rates and the real reason they're stuck. 4, how Charlotte stacks up against the national forecast. And 5, what all of it means, whether you're buying, selling, or relocating here. Now go grab some coffee and let's jump right in. Let's start with the number everyone wants. The median sale price for April in Mecklenburg County landed at $475,000. That's up 4.4% year over year. So the honest answer is prices are still climbing with healthy gains across the county. But hold that thought, because here's where it all gets weird. At the same time prices held, the number of homes for sale jumped. New listings were up nearly 10% for the month, and active inventory in Mecklenburg climbed to nearly 4,000 homes. That's an increase of more than 16% over last year. So in plain English, a year ago, if you were buying, you were fighting 3 other people for the same house. Today, you walk in and there are options and you can actually take time to think. That's a massive shift in the buyer's experience. Now, Econ 101 says when supply jumps that hard, prices fall, but they didn't. We're going to have to solve that mystery in a few minutes. The next number is how long are homes taking to sell? April had homes sitting an average of 47 days before going under contract. That's about 8 days longer than a year ago. So that's a 20% jump. Sellers, hear this one. A home that's priced for the 2022 market now sits, and a home that sits gets stale, and a stale home gets lowballed. Pricing right on day one is everything now. And buyers, that extra time is your gift. Use it, inspect, negotiate, walk away if it's wrong. You have leverage to be patient that you did not have 18 months ago. But before any buyer gets too excited, here's the number that keeps it honest. Sellers are still walking away with about 96.9% of their asking price. Let's call it 97 cents on the dollar. So is there room to negotiate now? Absolutely. More than there's been in years. Is this a fire sale where you steal a house for 85% of list? Absolutely. Hell no. The leverage didn't swing to buyers. It swung towards the middle. Both sides have to be reasonable now, and that's healthy. Let me give you the one stat that ties the room together, the months of supply. That's how long it will take to sell every home on the market at the current pace. Charlotte's at about 3.1 months. So at 3.1 months, even with all that new inventory, we're still tilted toward sellers. We're approaching balance, but we're not there yet, you heard? Now, let's talk rates. 30-year fixed is hovering around 6.3 to 6.5%, forecasted to bottom near 6.2% before nudging back up. So let me kill a fantasy. You're probably not getting a 5% rate this year, so stop waiting for it. Buy the home at today's price. Lock the price. And when the rates ease, you refinance the payment down. Here's why it matters. Pay attention. You can refinance a rate. You cannot refinance a purchase price. If you wait for rates to drop while prices climb another 5% and you didn't save money, you paid more for the same house with a smaller mortgage. So please do the math on the asset, not just the monthly. Okay, why are rates stuck up there? This is the part most agents skip, so let's talk about it. So mortgage rates don't really follow the Fed. They shadow the 10-year Treasury yield, and that yield is being held up by 2 things. 1, sticky inflation. Prices across the economy haven't cooled the way everyone hoped. Number 2, geopolitical jitters. Global tension, energy market swings, oil prices, labor and immigration dynamics, all of it makes investors nervous. And nervous investors demand higher yields, which pushes mortgage rates up. So when something blows up on the world stage and you wonder what's it got to do with your mortgage in Charlotte, honey, that's the chain. And listen, no serious forecaster is calling a crash. The phrase being used right now is steadier, but slow. Now let's zoom out for a second. Nationally, the big firms, JP Morgan, Realtor.com, the major platforms are forecasting home prices to do basically nothing this year. Flat to up about 2%. Now look back at Charlotte. Holding steady with modest gains, inventory growing in a healthy way, demand still strong enough to soak up new listings. We're not lagging the country here. We're outperforming the flat national forecast, just at a calmer pace than the insanity of a few years ago. And that brings me back to our mystery. So why did 16% more inventory not crash Charlotte prices? Because Charlotte didn't get too many homes. It got enough homes. We went from a market with almost nothing on the shelf to one with real choices. But people are still moving here in droves. The jobs, the banks, the lower cost of living compared to where these folks are relocating from. That demand absorbed the new supply almost as fast as it showed up. More homes, more buyers to meet them. Prices hold. That's not a crash. That's a market finally catching its breath after holding it for 3 years. Quick note on the high end, it's a different game. Homes at 2 million and up appreciated about 11% year over year, even with inventory in that bracket up 26%. So while the median market rebalances, the top is still running hot, baby. Different buyers, different rules. So what do you do with this? Listen, if you're selling, price it right on day one. The market will not bail you out, but a well-priced home still gets nearly 97% of ask. If you're buying, you finally have time and options, so use them and stop waiting for a crash the data says isn't coming. And if you're relocating, this is a rare window. Real choice and real negotiating room before the next demand wave. And if you're looking at land, that's its own conversation and a conversation I love having. Last thing, most important, every number today is a citywide average, and you don't live in an average. So Ballantyne moves different than Huntersville, different than Fort Mill or Rock Hill over in South Carolina. So if you're making a move in the next 6 to 12 months, book the free 15-minute call. The link is in the description. We'll talk about your actual numbers, your actual position, absolutely no pressure. If this made the market make more sense, please hit that subscribe button. I do this every single month, so you're always the most informed person in the room. And make sure you share this video. I'm Evie DeJesus with eXp Realty. I'll see you in the next video. Later.